Maybe you just don't notice how often beard hairs fall out of your face. Wait,
Oh, no,
oh my God, are you recording already? You started the recording. Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, sitting to my left.
Oh, I'm your left. Bob Collins, also known as Boba Fett.
Right across the table from him,
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Travis, the Dr. T. Neal will not be joining us for this one because he did not see the movie, and that's what this episode is. It is a special episode just for those who have seen Justice League. Or
we're gonna go see Justice League.
We already saw Justice League.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's also for those who don't care about spoiling everything for themselves. So,
okay, fair warning. From here on out, spoilers.
Oh yeah,
like
spoil like all day.
This is your warning.
Guess what? Superman comes back.
Oh, there you go. We warned you. You had your warning, and now you've been spoiled if you listened past the warning and haven't seen the movie.
It is arguable that maybe we should have done a spoiler-free review at the very top of it.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Because why do you sit there and listen to reviews? I mean, I understand maybe one or two, but like, why would you sit down and listen to at least a half a podcast, somebody explaining a movie? Fuck it, just go watch it if you're that curious.
I listened to reviews before we went and watched it.
Why?
Not spoiler reviews, but just I read reviews and shit.
No.
I wanted to know if it was a total piece of crap or not.
Let's get super spoilery. Fucking Deathstroke.
Okay, no, alright, we're not starting at the end.
Let's just work at the end.
God damn it.
And work our way back.
Like Memento. We'll just start at the end.
I thought we would tackle this the same way we've done. We did Stranger Things. We go in segments. Like, what do you get? Okay, so what do you guys want to talk about first? You want to talk about Justice League? Do you want to talk about the villain?
Let's talk about the movie Justice League.
Oh well,
it just so happens
we
can work that into the schedule.
Yeah, I think that'll work out. But seriously, what do you guys want to talk about?
Let's start with Henry Cavill's lip.
Okay. Yeah. And my first note is weird lip right off.
Well, because it was literally right off the bat.
It is the very first thing you see, and it's so weird.
And that's honestly probably the worst time, throughout the whole film. That's the worst shot of that.
It's obvious in other parts of the film, and it's super obvious when it's footage that they had already recorded, and when they went in with mustached Henry Cavill,
where it's different shots of the same scene. Part of them is the digitally modified. Henry Cavill.
It just goes in and out. Yeah, that first one, though, with the, there's cell phone footage of these kids running up to Superman. They're like, Superman, blah,
they're
blah,
like,
blah,
we do a podcast. And that's the first thing I was like, oh my God, they said they do a podcast. They're like us.
No, I was seriously, I was like, we would do that. We'd seriously run up to Superman.
At 30 years old, I would do that.
Oh my God, yeah, we'd run right up to Superman and be like,
I mean, we're essentially doing it right now, and he's not even real.
We make dick jokes. Do you want to be on our podcast? So that's the first time you see it, and it's the worst time you see it. It's awful, and I think it's they tried to make it look like they saw that other shit that they've done later for the movie, and they were like, that looks great, it looks perfect. But this is shitty cell phone footage, so maybe we should make the lip look like shit. Had they made the lip look as good as it did before in the shitty cell phone footage, it would have looked perfect.
It would look fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like they just slacked off more since they're like, it's going to look a little grainy and shitty anyway.
It was one of the more distracting things of the film, of all the things. Overall, do you guys want to say the overall for after, towards the end?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
all right. Let's talk about the fucking villains then. Parademons and
Parademons. I'm still completely excited when I see Parademons on screen. Well, just because I never thought I would see Parademons on fucking screen.
That is true.
And it's we got them right off the bat too.
Oh yeah. Well, I would expect so.
No,
because
what?
What?
We got it right off the bat.
But yeah.
Well, we said right off the bat for Superman, so I think that's kind of Why your joke didn't resonate? It's like he tuned out the entire first part of this podcast. The look you just gave, like, what the fuck?
It's like I make a legit bat joke.
I know, but
and no one picks it up.
Yeah,
but
I'm
done making jokes with
we
you
had
guys.
already said right off the bat, and we didn't make it a bat joke.
All right, well, going back to the villain.
Bat joke, more like bad joke.
Oh, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
You're a bad joke.
All right,
that's why my mom.
Steppenwolf.
I was pleasantly surprised.
I mean,
it was another weaker.
It was another like muted color, full CGI DC villain that's trying to terraform a world. I mean, like,
zero personality.
That was probably one of my biggest complaints about this film. Don't get me wrong. Like, I came out with more like, oh shit, that was better than what I expected.
Yeah.
But the villain, like, it seems like they just haven't gotten right with villains. I mean, granted, I haven't watched all of Wonder Woman, so I haven't really caught any of the villain shit with Wonder Woman. But in BVS, in Suicide Squad, in Man of Steel, in Justice League, it's like you either have.
Isn't it weird that Man of Steel has the best character development?
They really do.
Of any of
They
the
kind of really
villains?
do. Yeah. Because they're the only ones that actually has legit, like, fucking physical, tangible villains. The rest are CG villains, if you think about it. You have Doomsday. You have Enchantress's brother, whatever the fuck his name was in Suicide Squad.
Enchanter? I don't know.
The Enchantress brother dude.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
And then in this one you have Steppenwolf. And in each one it's like Man of Steel, all that. It's like there's either some kind of big fucking crazy shit going on in the sky or something's getting terraformed.
Yeah.
Like, well, give me, like, legit fucking, like, throw me some villains.
Now, with Steppenwolf, though,
I completely understand why they're doing it.
Because
they're trying to build into the whole fucking, like, here comes Darkseid, which is what Marvel's
that's
doing.
not necessarily why they made him the way they made him. That's why is he the villain in this film? Those two very different things, because honestly they could have made him a little more engaging, but at the same time, like, just based off of the character from the comic books, that's kind of Steppenwolf. It really is. Like, as lame of a villain as he is.
My biggest thing... Sorry, I knocked that down. My biggest thing is... I wish that they would have put him in, like, more practical makeup and then did touches of CGI.
Yeah, that would have been at least better.
Like, what's his name? Malekith or whatever from the second Thor movie. That's kind of what I had in mind. It's like...
Curse.
What?
Curse. The guy who was, like, transformed towards the end.
It's so hard to remember from the second Thor movie.
I just know it's the Ninth Doctor. That's the only reason I remember that. But, like, they could do, like, some good makeup and then do touches of CGI.
And that would have given it a more engaging touch, too. There's only so much you could do with it. And if anything, it made the Justice League shine a little bit more. So, like, if you have to have one silver lining to Steppenwolf's place in this movie, it's that it makes these characters' failures or successes more engaging and more obvious, I guess.
Yeah, I did geek a little bit whenever he was given commands, and then at the very end he said, "For Darkseid." I'm like, yes,
yeah. They talked about Darkseid.
They said Darkseid,
even though they were gonna show Darkseid.
I wish they would.
It would have been too soon to see Darkseid for sure. Let's talk about the runtime now, because it is a short movie.
It felt like it too.
Yeah, it does feel short.
Like when the end came out, because by the time Superman came, I'm like, shit. Like, you even mentioned it in theater, like, they're kind of introducing him early.
Yeah.
Like, and then we find out it's like, actually that was like about midway, if not a little more than midway through the film. Like,
it is definitely. It feels like a short film, but it paces itself well enough.
I think if it was. If it's a little bit longer, it'd been okay. But I feel like if it was much more longer than what it was, it would have
dragged.
Not necessarily dragged. It just, like, I feel like this was fine.
Half an hour more would have been too much, but 15 minutes might have been the sweet spot.
Exactly.
15 more minutes.
Yeah.
Because I still kind of craved more when I came out of it. Like I felt like I wanted more out of that movie. Yeah. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of movies that come out of it, like Force Awakens, for example, like, come out like, oh, I want more. Like, I want more of this fucking story.
That's different.
But that's completely different. It's like, I not want more of that film. Like, when this film was just like a little short.
This one's runtime, I feel like, helped the pace of how each individual hero was introduced, because it feels well paced, but when you step back and you look at it, you're like, oh, wait a minute, they came in pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it felt all right.
But you also got to think, like, Batman's already been introduced, so it's Wonder Woman, and we have very light introductions for Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg.
But more importantly, this also gives more time to see them grow as a team. Like, we don't spend all this time, like, getting to know each individual hero. It's like, okay, you saw BBS, you know that Batman's aware of them, and he's just dropping in on them. So that's sudden. So it speaks to the pace of Batman's planning as well.
That's also, like, that felt like a very Batman thing to do. It's like, he knows these people exist. He has his goal, like, he's just gonna drop in on. Now, some of the mannerisms.
Speaking of Batman things to do, the fact that he mentioned that he has contingencies.
Contingency plans.
I'm not with you guys here on Batman. I feel like this Batman is the least like Batman any Batman.
He was a lot fucking lighter in this movie.
Well, not only was he lighter, he's more of a dick than he needed to be.
And did anybody else not like wonder, like, okay, whenever he goes and sees Aquaman and they're talking, whenever he's just starting to walk back into the water and like half the fucking village is standing right there next to Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah.
And Aquaman calls him after like talking about like being Batman and then calls him Bruce Wayne and shit. And it's like,
he just keeps cycling back and forth between the names.
You just gave away secret identity in front of half of a fucking village.
Now, okay, it could be argued, all right, this is like an off, like these people probably don't even have the internet and shit.
I guarantee they know who Batman is, and we all know that they speak English because they're speaking English right there in the fucking bar.
But if we were talking about that kind of culture of people who would want to expose this, nobody had a cell phone out. Like you got a dude who just walked out of the sea and walked back.
I know,
and
this is a community that has been keeping Arthur, Aquaman, secret for fucking apparently years and years. But still, why would you fucking do that? Like, why would you take the chance of being like, well, since they keep him hush-hush. You can also say
that Batman didn't give his own thing away. It's Arthur Curry who kept calling him those two things.
Well, and that's like
so. Why would Arthur Curry give a fuck? No. Yeah.
Like the only thing that he consistently did with each new member was, I'm Batman. And like with each one of them. Like right off the bat.
The only time
in a way though, I do understand why he does that. Because like he's got to build the trust. He's got to be like, listen, cards on the table.
But see, Batman never gave that trust to the Justice League until
they
were the Justice
I'm not saying that that's accurate. I'm just saying, as far as the film goes, like I see what they were doing. In the film, what they were doing was like, all right, this is, I've got to get you all on board fast, and I got to gain trust fast.
But wouldn't this have been a better thing? Because Batman already has his own clout. Batman already has his own 20 years of experience. All he has to do is be Batman in that moment and be like, this is all the reasons why, blah, blah, blah.
And fucking in the comics, a lot of the stories, like, there's some heroes that have no idea who Batman's
being Bruce Wayne has nothing to do with gaining their trust, because there's so many other ways he could do it. Wouldn't it have been so much better if Clark was the one who revealed that Bruce Wayne was Batman because he's got the extra vision, he already knows? That would have been a much better moment. He didn't need to do that. It seemed sloppy. It just came off stupid.
I'm not justifying that they did it. I'm just saying, I get why they did it, though.
For the purpose of the movie and for the DCEU.
I just slated out a much better idea. Yeah. This schmuck sits here in his kitchen recording a podcast, how is
that a great idea? Because if with your pitch, Superman has to be there in order to be alive and fucking be able to fucking tell them before they fucking all join up. Which he does
do later.
But we're talking about before they join up. The reason why he shows himself to them is to show them I
understand that, but I also just said that there are so many other things he could. Okay.
Let's break up the nerd fight. Okay, wait a minute.
No.
But what you're saying has no logic to it. If the whole reason why he's fucking doing this is at the very beginning to get them all together, so they can fucking get to Superman. But by the time Superman is alive in the movie, it's more than halfway through the movie.
You've made your point word by word for a third time now. Now listen to mine. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No. Okay. How much evidence does this fucker give them outside of being
A
Bruce
shit
Wayne?
ton.
A shit ton. Being Bruce Wayne was not the linchpin of getting them to join on. In fact, showing them
It
that
was a big fucking reason why.
Okay,
The whole
Flash.
fucking he gave who was it? Flash, the big fucking stack of like.
Okay.
Somebody's taking pictures of him in the Batcave, you know, like little side shots of him with no cowl on and shit. Like, that was his biggest fucking point of gaining their trust, was to explain to them that that's who I am.
Absolutely fucking not. Because guess what? If Batman was standing in his fucking Batcave, he still would have nerded out. Batman still could have thrown the fucking throwing star and been like, I'm putting together a team.
But then Ben Affleck wouldn't get more fucking money for showing his face.
And yeah, okay, now I can see that you're starting to
But
see
I'm
my
saying,
fucking
but
point.
that's the reason why he showed his face, so they had to work around that. That's what I'm trying to fucking say. It's like, I get why they're doing it in the movie, is because they have to pay Ben Affleck. The same fucking reason why Tony Stark runs around 90% of the time without a fucking Iron Man helmet on is because fucking Robert Downey Jr.'s got to get paid. So they got to figure out ways that Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have to wear the fucking Iron Man helmet all the time.
Doesn't make it right.
Not at all. I'm just explaining on why it's there.
Fine, you get the reason why the company did it. I don't get why the writers did it.
Because they're dumbasses.
Yeah, right?
They're just moving the plot along.
Can we move on from fucking Batman revealing himself?
I was gonna say, I think that's the first time one of us have had like a heated argument, a heated nerd argument on the podcast. You're doing it first here.
Moving on from the nerd fight.
But still, like, moving on from the nerd fight, Batman was only really Batman in the fight. Like, in the big fight towards the end. That was when
he
most
wasn't
Batman.
even, like, really that effective in.
Oh, no, I think it was...
How was he not?
I looked for it so many times, like the BVS version of Batman, where he just...
Of him, like...
But no,
like... leading into the fight and like everything he did up to was fucking awesome. Like luring all of the parademons away,
incredibly effective.
Like blowing into the shield itself, like
Bringing
getting through there.
What was it called? The Nightcrawler or the Wall Crawler?
Yeah,
I
think it was Nightcrawler.
I think it was.
Wall crawler?
Yeah. It was the Bat.
The Bat Crawler.
No, it wasn't the Bat. That's not what they called it. It was called.
I think it was called the Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
You know, everything that he did leading up to like the hand-to-hand fight with Steppenwolf, which granted, Batman.
I mean, would you want to see? It's like, okay, during Infinity War, it's like, I want to see a fucking bare knuckle fist to fist with Black Widow and Thanos. Yeah. Let's see it. But, it's not going to happen. But still like, that's the main reason why Batman was hiding behind rocks and fucking BVS, is because he's like, I got no fucking dog in this fight. I'm out.
He
stopped throwing things.
I'm imitating Batman throwing shit. He
set up the fight really, like he set everything up really well.
Yeah,
but then,
he was super effective leading into the fight, and then they all took their place, and that's another great thing about this movie. Is that I think it shows the Justice League coming together as a team in a really effective way. Like, they're sloppy at first as a team, like they kind of fuck up, like things aren't really clicking, and then they start to come together kind of by accident, and then by this time they're attacking it with a plan. You got Wonder Woman fighting Steppenwolf, you've got
Aquaman fighting with her.
Aquaman fighting with her, but also, it was Superman who was later protecting Cyborg. You got Cyborg working on the Mother Box. You got Superman and Flash saving people all over the town because they're the ones fast enough to do it. You got Batman running support, like when he catches the Flash when he trips. Yeah. Everyone took their place, and that was Batman's place.
And not only catching Flash when he trips, but give him that nice little, like, just save one of them.
Yeah.
Just, save one. Like, everything else will come to you after that.
Because he is the most experienced hero out of all. Even out of before Superman, he has 20 years under his belt.
And I'm not trying to take that away from him.
The theory of, like, the Keaton verse, or the Burton verse, whatever you want to call it, as that same Batman 20 years prior... The line where Alfred mentions wind-up penguins could be a direct reference to fucking Batman Returns.
Not to mention Danny Elfman doing the score for this movie, working the 1989 Batman theme into the score. Which also, I read online that the original Christopher Reeve theme is in there somewhere too. I don't remember hearing it, but I've only seen it once, so I'll be listening for it next time. But I talking to you about how I thought the animated series could probably plug into this pretty easily.
They could,
yeah. So that was another great thing. Let's talk about the rest of the league. Okay,
real quick, Aquaman. You mentioned earlier...
Well, let's do the easy one real quick. Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman. She
Badass.
like everything you love from the Wonder Woman movie, you're gonna love here. You're getting all that bank heist thing,
right?
That was
Like,
such
that
a
was
good
dope.
thing.
I was a little taken aback by like the scene where the guy's unloading the fully automatic rifle and she's blocking every bullet. It's like she really picked up her speed here.
I did take a note. Like, does Wonder Woman have super speed?
I
I don't think so, because it like right there
It
in that
seemed
movie,
like
she
she
has super speed.
There's so
She
many
does.
times in comics and shit. I mean, she's known for deflecting bullets with it. So you gotta have some fucking. You gotta
right
be pretty fucking
Well,
fast.
yeah.
But I don't know about like. I mean, that's just like arguments.
Yeah.
I don't know about actually
I can't
moving
think
around.
of anytime I've seen Wonder Woman dart forward like
Because
that.
if that's the case, then she could fucking like give Superman a run for his money, or maybe even Flash as far as like speed goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Because
it's
she's
like,
legitimately faster than a speeding
yeah,
bullet.
like that was my thing. It's like I didn't know she could actually move that fast. Like
I don't
we
know.
know in these slow-mo shots that we got, she was moving really fast. And taking these guys out and everything she was doing. But, like, she moved across this big line of people when this guy emptied a clip.
yeah. If she does have that in the comics, I don't think she does.
I don't
But-
think so either.
But moving on from Wonder Woman, like I said, Wonder Woman was the easy one. You want to talk
Well,
about
what I was saying, like
Aquaman?
earlier, whenever you were talking about like, you know, the gang trying to get assembled at the beginning, like,
Yeah.
did anybody else think like, just kind of assume when they went in, like Aquaman was going to be more of a harder buy into coming into the group? Like it felt like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to be the late one to come in because of like
Essentially, he
what
was
the work
though.
alone. Yeah, but like it
Not all of
fucking
them,
not
but-
like pretty fucking quick though.
It
Dude.
was still easier
Well-
than I would have thought.
Yeah,
Well, it
especially
was-
after the whole like. It was a joke in the movie when it talks about strong men work alone, not in a team. He's like,
Yeah,
that's the exact
the
opposite.
opposite, yeah.
Well, because you got to think though, he didn't care because it didn't really affect him. Like the whole, like the way that Batman explained everything, like this was man's problem. It didn't really
Yeah.
affect
I
Atlantis
mean, no, I get
until
that.
it did.
Yeah.
And once he
Okay.
saw the
But
threat,
the way
he was more
it
open
was
to
kind of
join.
feeling from trailers and shit is like Aquaman was going to be the one that like he was going to come in clutch. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, okay,
later
but
on.
what Alpha Spectre is talking about,
no.
yeah, but like, I don't think it's necessarily that it affected Atlantis alone. I think it's that he watched strong members of his race and himself get their asses handed to him, and he realized he's gonna need this.
Yeah, he realized
Yeah.
how much of a threat this
Yeah.
actually was. That Batman wasn't just blowing smoke.
Yeah.
And on the same subject as Aquaman, the moment where he just starts like confessing all kinds of shit that he's just like, wait a minute, he pulls out the fucking, he pulls out the
And like
lasso
they're
tree.
kind of
Never really felt at home in either world. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Oh,
what? Okay,
okay.
go ahead.
Going back to Atlanteans and fucking.
Mara?
If we're talking about characters here, like let's go back to the beginning of the film real
Oh
quick
my god.
and mention this fucking like the one set of characters that we didn't think we were gonna see in this movie, Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Oh yes, there is the whole
Yeah.
battle. We
Like,
could have
granted,
brought
they're
up
not-
that during the battle, the
Yeah.
Steppenwolf combo.
Yeah, but it just hit me.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they weren't lanterns that we knew of.
Now,
They
wait a
weren't
minute.
like Hal and
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
they
were some random alien race. There were two of them specifically
was.
that I
There
saw.
was,
I don't know
more
if there were
human.
more.
What looked like a human one, and the one that we're talking about had like that yellow, almost like geekish type face, like almost like a dinosaur bird.
And the
combo
human
type
one
deal.
was the one that died in the ring.
Well, I don't think it was
Right.
human. I think it was humanoid. Definitely
Yeah.
wasn't a human.
But that was the one that like we visibly saw like the ring.
come off
come
of. No, I
off
think it was
of-
the
And
other
then I
one,
think
wasn't
it cracked or something. Either one. I don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure it was the other one.
Yeah, but one of them we saw like the ring leave the body and go for its next.
And then there was another
Feel
one
it.
that landed on the ground and it was cracked or something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, there was someone who summoned thunder and then pushed it forward. I
Those
didn't catch
were-
There
them
was
saying
those
there
were
was
gods.
Zeus and Ares, or no,
Oh,
Zeus
okay.
and
We had Zeus,
yeah, Zeus and Ares, I believe.
I thought it was Shazam.
Well,
No,
there
it
was,
was
a
Zeus.
Because that would have
supposed to be
made
Zeus.
sense because
Yeah.
we got the movie, but
and there was a female there too with the arrows.
it's probably the Mascara.
Just
right?
yeah.
No, because she had like glowing
Unless
arms
she's
and
supposed to be like
shit.
Athena or something.
Oh,
Yeah, Athena. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, because they even mentioned that they had gods fighting him and all that.
Because I read, because I was trying to find more info on the Green Lantern stuff, and when they're talking about that battle, they said that there's also Ares and Zeus in there featured for sure.
Yeah, so that's probably exactly who the Thunderbolt
definitely
was.
saw them.
Getting back to our main cast here, the actual Justice League. What about the Flash? What do you guys think about the Flash?
You know, I enjoyed Flash.
I
like,
was,
and this is coming from somebody that loves the show and like is like all about Grant Gustin.
I love the comics. I've been digging the comics, getting more into Flash since I started reading them and watching the show. I was avidly against the Flash in this movie. Like during the whole ad campaign, I thought he was gonna be just so disruptive and shit. But it works well.
It did,
especially because he's not the only comic relief in this, and the way they play him out is he is so young. This is like
he's
forensic investigative.
Yeah, he's so new at what he has. Like he has this suit that we see standing before we ever see him in it, but it almost comes off as like he barely ever puts it on and goes and does anything. Like he even said, like the most he's ever done is like push someone out of the way.
Yeah. He comes off timid in the face of like real danger and stuff because again he is so new,
but also super fucking like excited, like a child would be whenever you tell him like, okay, we're gonna go Kings Island, ride roller coasters. Oh fuck yeah, roller coasters! Until they're on the roller coaster and then we're like, oh my god,
like even more so until they're in the line to get on the roller coaster and they just realized how bad they fucked up.
Exactly.
Like, shit. Yeah. He comes off far more entertaining than I think he did in the ad campaign. He comes off a buffoon in the ad campaign. I think.
One of my problems with the Flash is when they show him running slowed down in like his time.
Okay. There was one moment for sure that bothered me.
Was it the one at the end of the movie?
Where he tips the fucking sword towards Wonder Woman?
Oh.
And she grabs it like that fast? Mm-hmm. Like while everything else is moving slow motion, you're in his. And
we did just talk about maybe Wonder Woman has like super speed in this.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and accept in the DCEU maybe Wonder Woman can move abnormally fast. Okay. Like I know that's not a thing in the comics. I read Justice League. That would have come up. Yeah. So
I don't read a whole lot of Wonder Woman besides.
But we are dealing with
Earth One.
Yeah, we're dealing with a different universe here. So whatever. Okay, Wonder Woman has super speed. Fine, whatever.
But
maybe like it's far less than.
What was that you were going to say though about?
Yeah. Like there, a lot of times, like when we see him running, and it's like his running time, not just like the blur.
Yeah.
He looks like his legs aren't necessarily part of his body, or he's running like his pants are trying to fall off, and he's moving his legs in a manner to keep them up.
Maybe that's how you run in the speed. Like, I mean, we really can't comment on that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you run in the Speed Force.
It looks so...
And the fact that they even, they mentioned Speed Force in the movie. Yeah, that kind of excited me.
But, okay, in the show, for example, when we see him running and stuff, it has more of a natural look than how this did.
I really wasn't paying a whole hell of a lot of attention to his legs, I guess,
one that sticks out is when at the end, when he's running between the cars, through the street and all that, his legs are just like flopping around like
he's running fast, man. They're just going everywhere.
It maybe I don't know. It didn't really bother
me.
It looks so unnatural.
Maybe he just naturally awkwardly runs. If he actually ran normally, he'd even run even faster than what he does. Maybe he's like one of those guys that when they run, they just flail around.
I think thinking about it and re-seeing it in my head, it looked so disproportionate. Like his legs looked like they took up 2/3 of his body length.
Maybe it's just really hard to show something like that in CG because when they do it on the show, when they slow it down to his time, he looks like a fucking cartoon. Like he moves like a cartoon. It's kind of abnormal.
Like he's running in motion. Too. Like you're running still.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it just comes down to just maybe they haven't figured out how to do it properly yet.
Yeah.
But,
you know who I think real quick, who I think has done the whole slow down time and run thing properly is X-Men actually with their newest
with Quicksilver.
Yeah, sure. Quicksilver. Yeah, I think this is probably the best slowed down speedster type deal. But
when they do that, it's like when they show him move from place to place, he's a blur, and then when he gets to that place, he's moving in normal time and everything else is slowed down. I don't think they've ever shown him like kind of slow but moving within his version of the Speed Force or anything. They just show him like blur. Now he's doing this thing and like he's moving like a normal person. Everyone else is slow.
You almost stabbed me in the eye like 7 times. With that I've been sitting here like just staying very still and kind of watching it. Man.
Anyways, no. So I don't know. It's just
all right.
So who else do we have in the team? Who haven't we talked about?
Cyborg.
We haven't
I
talked
dig
about
Cyborg in this movie, bro.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
I like
Cyborg was what I was honestly a little worried about. I was like, with it being primarily CG, like he could look really good or he could look There's times that like I mean one thing I do love is that like right at the bat, they mentioned like his body evolves. Like he's not like the mother box, and he's essentially was it signals from
and he does
apocalypse
that
kind of
he starts hovering. He's like, couldn't do that yesterday.
Yeah, he essentially gets updates that like he doesn't control.
I think the weirdest it looked was in the Kryptonian ship when they're bringing back Superman. Which
was that when his elbow areas and stuff look super skinny?
Super skinny.
Yeah.
Why do they still have that ship around? Kind of like a fucking abomination monster jumped the fuck out of that.
I understand why they stole at the ship. I don't understand why it's still in that same
right
location.
There. Yeah, that's
like if you think logically, if something like that happened in real life, government would have like.
Oh yeah,
shoot that bitch out. It would be in a secure location.
It's going back to Antarctica.
It's like you mentioned it. Like while we're watching the movie, it's like, are they going to build a fucking amusement park there? Like, what are they doing? Like,
no, they put a wall up around it. They trumped it. And,
no, they had a wall up around it in BVS. The same wall's still there. Obviously, it didn't do the job last time.
They have more security that you can easily sneak past.
But Cyborg is actually his origins are really the closest origins to any of these heroes.
Yeah.
In this whole thing. You got Batman.
Okay, I don't know Cyborg's original origins, but I know New 52. That's when they introduced the fact that like his cybernetics were all
okay. If we're bringing in the 80s Cyborg, no, it's like way off. But this is New 52 origins, the more popular.
And a lot, I think they've already kind of established that like the DCEU is like it leans heavily on New 52, aside from like cherry picking at like.
I think it just leans heavily on cherry picking in general. But Cyborg was cool. I dug him.
He was cool. I liked how. Like, when he was talking almost throughout the whole movie, you never really got much of an emotional rise out of him.
No, which was great, because that was that machine.
Yeah, it showed that, like, machinery, like, the computing that he was constantly doing, and all of that. So he was just always very, like, calm, cool, collected.
I also like they kind of introduced something where he has trouble controlling it sometimes. Like
like the defense.
Almost like it's like sentient, not necessarily sentient, but like almost like it has like a
AI.
Now I can't really say anything on this, Bob, because you're not as far into metal as we are. But there is something that happened in metal recently, and I know they didn't.
Are you talking about the what's it called, the Death Machine or whatever?
No. Okay. It comes. I think it's like Metal issue 4. Or it's
that's not out yet.
Or it's part 4 of Bats Out of Hell.
Anyways, I haven't read that yet.
Part 4 Bats Out of Hell. This comes in. I know they weren't using that as like because it wasn't out yet or anything, but they weren't using that as motivation. But like it kind of goes in line with what I just found out in the comics and shit. So. I thought that was really cool. Like that part where Aquaman's coming up on him. Like I was getting nervous. I was like, "We're gonna saw Aquaman and fucking Cyborg fight?" Because honestly, I think Cyborg can take him.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Okay, speaking of fights, are we done with characters?
Not yet. We got one more.
But do we really need to talk about him?
We absolutely need to talk.
Wait. If we want to continue talking about the characters and talk about fights, I think it's kind of a perfect segue.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the one we're leaving out here is Superman.
Yeah.
The Man of Steel. Oh my God. And we've already talked about them going to the chamber. So the way they bring Superman back, let's just go ahead and I'll map that out for them real quick. The way they bring Superman back, they take their mother box, the one that Steppenwolf hasn't gotten yet. They take it to the Kryptonian ship, similar to what Lex did in BBS to bring out Doomsday, and they bring Superman's body there.
But they don't have enough power.
They don't have enough power, so Flash has to get like far enough back, build up enough thing, and just at the perfect moment, as soon as the box
the
hits
precise
the water,
time that it touches the water.
he has to touch it to get it up, and they get Superman back.
But it's not necessarily Clark Kent.
Okay, hold up. This is my question.
Okay.
In BVS, Batman falls asleep, has that nightmare sequence where fucking like Superman lost his shit, and then like he sees like glimpse of Flash where he's like, Lois is the key. Is that what he was talking about? Was like
No.
if they didn't simmer down Supes, would that have all happened?
Maybe.
But Lois is the key because they brought in the fucking
I don't
big
think
gun.
the whole dream sequence where Superman is like a fucking tyrant or anything. I think that was just Batman's like fear of him reacting with his dreams and shit. The whole flashback thing where like Flash is like Lois is the key. I think that is true because Batman.
If that was like kind of Bruce's or Batman's like essentially like biggest fear, which is like, I mean, this fucking alien could like
take
over.
Yeah.
Well, then how did he see the Omega symbol? Like, where did that?
I don't.
That's why I kind of feel like that was more of a premonition than a dream.
I don't think Superman.
It hurts when you start thinking too hard about it.
But that was more of a premonition of Darkseid than Superman because the Omega symbol, the parent
maybe Superman gets taken like control of by Darkseid later, but that's not what we're fucking talking about.
Talking about Superman comes back and kicks ass.
Oh my god! Like, dude, you guys saw me like freaking out in my seat. I was like,
the moment when Flash is running. And you just like,
oh my god!
Like before it happens, before it happens, you know that it's about to happen.
Let's back the fuck up.
I want to give a little bit of context real quick. Okay, you guys hear Vin the Human always talking about Superman on the podcast. At least once every episode, he'll say something about Superman. So he's sitting between me and Boba Fett, and when Superman comes back and like he goes to the desecrated site from his statue.
Yeah, it's like right where he falls. It's right next to his fucking decapitated head.
You have Aquaman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Flash standing there because Batman doesn't show up. Because I made a joke, and I'll get to that in a second. They're all standing there, and Wonder Woman's kind of trying to talk to him, be someone he recognizes, and they realize he doesn't recognize them. All he sees are threats.
I don't think that... because when he's attacking Batman later, it's obvious he knows.
He recognizes him for sure.
Do you bleed?
Yeah.
I think he recognizes him.
No, I think he sees someone he barely knows. He only met her in the moment of that fight, so he doesn't know shit about her. So he sees 4 people obviously standing out from the crowd, so they got superpowers. He scans them down, and he's like, these people are fucking possible threats. And then Cyborg's armor starts freaking out, so he decides to take them on because he's like, well, okay, these people are threats. I have to defend myself.
And not only that, but he did just fucking get resurrected. Yeah. So
maybe
his
he's
mind
a little
is still
confused,
a bit...
but I don't think he's out of it. I think he knows who he is.
No, I don't think he's out of it, but I think it was still kind of one of those, like... It's still fast. Everything's fucking rushing in. And
it's sensory overload, essentially.
Because if he didn't know who he was, I don't think Batman's face would have been the one to bring him out of it. It would have been Lois showing up, but he obviously knows who Batman is when Batman shows up. Yeah.
But and the thing is, okay, they're all standing there in front of him, and they realize, okay, we're gonna have to fucking fight Superman.
Well, no, they realize they might have to fight Superman, and then Cyborg's armor again starts going in that automatic threat mode, and they're like, "Oh shit! Oh fuck! Yeah, okay, we're doing this."
And he just throws them around like they're fucking ragdolls.
Because they are to him.
And at one point, what Bob was leading into with the Flash thing, he's got what? He's got Wonder Woman by the throat, I think.
Yeah, I know because he has Wonder Woman by the throat because he wants to throw it.
He's got Aquaman wrapped in his other arm.
Yeah.
With Cyborg pinned under his foot or something.
He's got Cyborg somewhere. He's got Cyborg trapped.
He's got
someone... when Flash is starting to run around, they're all in that freeze frame. Yeah, because this is Flash time.
Because Flash is backed up. He's like, I gotta do something. He's gonna try the thing he did to resurrect Superman.
But but everybody's like completely still, and I think me and you knew that it was happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you because you were on the other side of him, but like just feeling the energy me and him next to each other, like we're both like, oh my god, it's about to happen. Which
And
was
then-
like all of a sudden, fucking just Clark just looks over.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that his whole
eye
face. He
turns.
looked over with just.
That's
his
what I said.
eye.
He looks over, and then his head turns, and then that's when he fucking
throws everyone away.
He chucks Wonder Woman off on the side, bro.
No, he does one fluid motion that just throws them all off.
Oh, I just remember thinking like, man, he threw that.
And then he
hard.
clotheslines the Flash.
Yeah,
he just the fucking
boom.
Flash. Yeah.
He doesn't actually make contact.
Not at
but
first,
he moves quick enough to make the Flash tumble.
The Flash
throws him
scoots
off
under him,
balance.
and then he goes after the Flash again, and it's the Flash just dodging Superman as best he can, and then
he's barely doing
makes one wrong move, bumps into Superman's arm. It's not Superman punching him, but Superman's arm is just there. He bumps into it, and then he flies off into the fucking monument. Like, oh my god! And then Batman shows up.
And then Batman shows up so fucking long after all this time. He's like, "No, guys, no one carried me.
Come on.
I'm
Come
here.
on.
I brought a big gun."
He calls in the big gun at that moment. He realizes
like,
this isn't going well. Yeah, he calls in the big gun, whatever the big gun might be at this point, and then Superman.
And for a split second, they're like, "Is it a new suit?" Like, I mean, you kind of get a quick like calling in Veronica.
Yeah,
is
you know what I mean? From
is he calling in like a kryptonite suit?
Basically. Yeah, I'm thinking like a fucking He's got a satellite up in space that's gonna shoot a kryptonite beam or something. But yeah, so Superman notices him and he makes a fucking beeline right for him, and he grabs him. He doesn't grab him by the throat. He grabs him by the bottom jaw and just squeezes and just pulls him up. And he's like, tell me, do you bleed? And I'm like, oh my god, Batman's about to bleed.
And then you can
and I love the fact that like once it was like, I know I'm jumping ahead, but once it's all done and over, Batman's laying there, he's like, yeah, I bleed. I bleed.
I bleed. Yeah.
But it's like he throws him.
Well,
and
you were about to say you can hear the fucking rubber.
You can hear
squeezing
the rubber and like you can hear crunching going on as he's squeezing Batman. Like they make a point for that to be audible to know that Batman's about to get his skull crushed by Superman in that moment.
But then
until the big gun
shows up and says Clark. Why does it say Clark? Because it's Lois. That's the big gun.
But doesn't
she so cool.
Say his...
Yeah, I think she says Clark.
Yeah, she gets out.
No, I know, but like, she's like that just kind of like
Clark
blowing the fucking lid.
Wait a minute, yeah.
And wait a minute,
says Clark, and the cops are there.
Yeah, and not only that, but like, how are they going to explain? Like, they can return to explain it. Like they can explain the return of Superman, no problem. How they explain the return of Clark? Clark's dead.
Yeah.
They had a funeral for him and everything.
I don't know.
They did.
We'll find that out.
Won't it be too coincidental that they're both back? God damn it!
Because remember, they had the funeral for Superman, but then they just had the small family funeral.
That is.
But there was an obituary in the fucking paper in BVS.
Oh.
No shit. Well, maybe that.
There's literally an obituary. I think it's like right next to the article about Lex Luthor or something.
He probably just lives under the radar. Who can? Like, I mean, he was
no
one.
He's not living under the radar. He's back in the city with his glasses on as Clark Kent.
Oh yeah.
He was dead as hell before.
Like he was in his like newspaper. Like
how did they do it in the comics when he came back?
Oops.
I can't remember. How did they bring back Clark?
Clark didn't die. Clark was on assignment.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, he was out of the country.
As a small side piece right now, what are they going to retcon? Are they going to retcon the obituary or?
I don't know. I don't care enough.
Well, when the Flash movie comes out, they're retconning everything.
Yeah, and Flash is probably going to be before Man of Steel 2, so who cares?
So, okay, so going back, she steps out of the car, she's like, Clark, and he just fucking, he drops to the ground, walks up to her, they hug.
No, he doesn't just drop it, he drops Batman.
Yeah.
He just... While still in the air, drops Batman. Who gives a fuck? Like,
Well,
I hope he dies.
He doesn't drop him. He just tosses him to the side like
That's
he doesn't
true.
fucking matter. And
Like-
that's when he makes contact with the car, and
Oh, he said, oh god. And
then,
later
like-
he's taping himself up. He is so fucked up just from that
Oh
one
my God.
swat. Yeah.
and so like he drops down, and what does she say? Like just fly away, or like she says something
Yeah,
to
something like
him,
that,
and
just
they
like-
he takes off with her.
Just like don't like kind of like in the hood. Like, girlfriend or boyfriend, like, it's not worth it, Clark. It's not worth it. Just, come on, let's just go.
It ain't worth going back to the pen, Clark.
baby. Yeah, she says something way calmer than that, but it's like, like, let's just go or something like that. Yeah, so...
I caught that too, by the way.
Yeah, the Doomsday Clock. I don't know where to fit that into this, so I'm going to cut this little moment out right now.
That's right.
Yeah, but no, that was cool. Oh my god, we fucking Watchmen movie crossover. That would be great.
Well,
I doubt it.
So-
Super doubt it. Never. But
I mean, it could have been mentioned just because Zack Snyder did.
or I mean, the
Or it
book
could be-
is getting ready to come
Exactly.
out.
That's what I said. It could be one or the other. I don't know.
But yeah, so Superman in this movie is the most Superman we've seen him in the DCEU.
Yes,
He
I
is
would
the
say
most true to life version of that character. Wow.
I think they're starting to finally fucking listen to people, man. It's like, yeah, I understand they wanted to do their own fucking field of these super gritty characters. Give us what the fuck we want. Give us what we want.
Well, you have this in between moment between resurrecting Clark and before Steppenwolf comes out, and like they've got this whole like, well, that didn't work and blah blah blah, like kind of a rift between them a little bit right now. And then you got Clark. He's off with Lois, and they're like reconnecting and shit. But
I want to take a moment. It's like, okay, Clark shoots out of the ship when he's resurrected.
okay,
The box shoots out as well.
okay.
Did no one realize that the last thing that Steppenwolf needed just flew out? Maybe we should go
No,
get
they
that.
saw it while it was happening because it teleported out in the boom tube.
Yeah.
Like right after he was resurrected, as soon as the hole opened up. So they saw that happen and they realized he had it at that point.
Well, no, that boom tube didn't happen until after the fight.
That boom tube happened. Like right there, right after he was resurrected.
No, because
I
the
remember
fight
the scene. I
happened
just can't remember if it happened.
because
I
the
don't remember
box,
which time- I
the
don't know
box
if it happened before
landed on top of a car and crushed a fucking car.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
and then
remember
the fight happened, and after Clark takes
I'm
off
just so excited. Superman's back.
with Lois, they're there, and then because they discussed that Steppenwolf has the final box.
Okay.
Like, why did they not think to get the box before confronting Superman? Like,
Because you got Superman.
like, no, but
okay.
the one thing that this villain needs to destroy everything, the one thing he needs, the reason that you brought the fucking Superman back, why would you just leave that laying around?
Think about where everyone's mindset is, though. And everyone, like, half of the team was against bringing him back because they didn't know the fucking consequences. Because of what happened with Doomsday.
Yeah.
The only ones who are really, like, kind of all in, like, this might work, is Cyborg and Batman. And Batman has already just made a spectacle dick show of himself. So, like, they're not really into Batman at this point. Then, Superman doesn't just come back to life. He bursts the fuck out of the ship and then lands somewhere nearby, which I'm sure Wonder Woman can probably hear. So, their priority right now is that a godlike super being that could probably kill them all is now loose in the city. They're gonna go fucking pay attention to that. Like, as far as they know, Steppenwolf isn't tracking them. They're gonna go deal with the possible death of all humanity, the very first thing.
But
like,
don't.
So why not? Who cares? Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, there's no reason to go another 20 minutes on that. So Superman, he shows back up during the fight with Steppenwolf, right? He makes his grand entrance during that fight, and it's so fucking wonderful. It's everything you want from Superman.
It felt like the perfect mix of like everything that I love about the casting choice and like the few things I do love that they did about with this new Superman merged a bit with the fucking Christopher Reeves Donner Superman.
Yeah.
And, like, there was that lightheartedness, like, the fucking, like, just the Boy Scout that we've been missing. It's not the whole, like, I could save him or don't. No, he's fucking saving them.
Yeah,
now.
he gets
From here on out, he's fucking saving them.
And
There's no do it or don't. It doesn't matter.
There's
you
no
owe them
pause.
nothing.
There's no, like, oh man, what's going on here? He shows up and he's like, what's my job?
I see this Superman saving a cat out of a tree.
Fair enough, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He shows up, he's like, what's my job? And then immediately goes with Flash to help save people. And the Flash takes off first. Oh my god,
that's such a great scene.
He takes off to go with him because he just got told his job. And he catches right up with the Flash. He's like, hi. It's like, you take them, I'll take these ones. And the Flash, like, pushes this car out of the way, and then he looks over. He saved these, like, what, 4 people?
Yeah, and then it's like this little family in a shitty old pickup truck. He's like, I wonder if he got his. Or he said something along those lines.
Then you see Superman off in the distance carrying an apartment building.
And the Flash just smiles.
No, he doesn't. Like, it's not a quaint smile. It's
it's a
oh well, okay then.
Okay. It's one of those. Well, shit. All right.
And then he comes back into the fight, and he's like, "You're still dealing with this guy," and he knocks the shit out of Steppenwolf.
And like,
or no, I think he said, "You having problems with this guy, or this guy giving you problems? Is this guy
still giving you problems?"
Yeah,
because it sounded like a fucking, like, something you'd say in the, like, the 50s, 60s or something.
Yeah.
Like, you still having troubles with this guy?
He knows who he is, how powerful he is. Yeah. He's like, the 4 of you couldn't take this guy already. Come on.
But one of the things I loved about the fight from that point out is the fight ended relatively quickly after that.
After Superman jumps in, yeah.
When he came back in, because when he first comes into the fight, he beats the living shit out of Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Like, knocks him off to the side, he loses his axe for a minute, all this and that, but when he comes back after saving the apartment building, and, you know, he has that one-liner, you know, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, they emerge from the pile of rubble, and it's the 3 of them that go at it, and Superman, all he does, like, he doesn't continue beating the hell out of Steppenwolf like he easily could. He freezes his axe.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the first fucking time we get to see freeze breath in the DCU.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is.
Like, I was going to mention it during the movie, but I'm like, too much shit's going on. Like, I just wanted to enjoy it.
And this is a perfect example of their teamwork. Like, they really got the teamwork down in this film. Like, how the Justice League should work together. That last moment where it's Wonder Woman, and then the Superman freezes him, and I think it's Aquaman who breaks the actual...
And Batman jumps from behind a rock and shoots him with a grenade.
Superman freezes the axe. Aquaman goes in and gets a couple of hits in on him with his trident. And then, like, Steppenwolf goes to swing the axe. Wonder Woman counters with the swing of her sword and shatters the axe
with her sword.
And then, like, Steppenwolf's just like, shit.
Yeah, because
like, he knows he's fucked.
I didn't, like, here's one misstep on the movie. Like, the way he reacts is like, that fucking axe was a big fucking deal for him, and I didn't get that throughout the whole of the movie.
No.
It was only that one moment where I was like, "Well, wait a minute, was that axe important?"
Like, I just figured it was just like a weapon of choice, not like.
But his reaction said,
the way I gathered it, like, especially from that, because, you know, he used the axe for the terraforming purposes.
Yeah,
you know, anytime he used it, the axe was glowing with power and everything. And when it shattered, you could see that, like, the glowing essence.
I just don't think they did enough to say this.
Yeah, like, there was no deal, like, real.
Like, if you go back on it, you could probably see, like, hints like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess it does have some power,
so,
but it wasn't made obvious to the audience.
And it's like, and then you realize, like, once that axe is broken, so is he. Like, it's almost like breaking that axe breaks his spirit of battle almost.
Yeah.
And that's when, is it Aquaman? He's this, like, do you recognize that smell? And then Batman looks at it and is like, fear.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then the Yellow Lantern ring comes out.
Yeah.
And then Hal Jordan comes in from above. No, that didn't happen.
Then Pennywise shows up in the form of your greatest fear.
They all float in this movie. No, but okay, so let's...
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Well,
since you're talking about the climax of the film, what was the one thing that you guys were hoping that Cyborg would do. That finally.
Oh, God!
It was early in the film too. Like
Yeah.
he had already had a few moments where he could have said it, and I think I leaned over to both of you individually,
Well,
and I was like, he better fucking say it.
Well, you probably leaned over to him, but I leaned over to you at one point. I'm like, I swear to God, if he does not say "booyah" in this movie, I will be legitimately upset.
Way to bury the lead there, Odle. But in the final fight,
the
one thing we were making a break for was that booyah line, and he gets it. I think it's right after.
It's literally
It's right after the parademons carry stepping.
Yeah, they're all attacking him. He goes off in the boom tube.
They're all stepping. They're all collected, standing there on that middle pillar thing, this really nice Justice League lineup. And then all you hear is "booyah."
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that we all jumped up out of our seats. Yes!
Oh my God! I saw the people in front of us a few times get annoyed with our reaction.
I don't care.
I cared. At that point, I didn't care. We were so into it, and we'd been drinking. By that point, I didn't give a shit. But there were certain moments where I was like, Odle can shut the fuck up a little bit. I was sitting there looking at him and I'm feeling bad because I'm the one who just talked to Odle and got that reaction from him. So maybe I shouldn't have talked to Odle.
When I go and see a movie, especially comic book movies, I get so into the movie. I think it was Age of Ultron. I saw at a theater up north.
I think so because you missed it when we watched it.
Yeah,
because we watched it on Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah,
and it was the moment where Vision hands Thor his hammer. He's like, "We have to go" or something. I'm like, "Oh shit!" Just dead silence in the theater. I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. But okay, so we've jibber jabbed too much on this. I wouldn't even call this a great review so far. But
no, not at all. But real quick, post credit scene.
Okay, no.
Mid credit scene.
Well, that's what I meant. The post credit.
Okay, fine. I guess they play into the story. We'll go to those first. I had something completely different in mind, but whatever. Yeah, fine. You've been waiting to talk about it.
So we'll go mid credits because it comes first.
Okay. Yeah. Another classic Superman.
And that was another one of those moments where the second that it went from credits to that first millisecond that it popped up, and you just see
the dirt road.
You see the dirt road, and then you see Flash and Superman standing face to face, and Flash is stretching.
You knew.
Oh my God, they're doing it! They're fucking doing it.
I wouldn't say this what it was a classic Superman Flash moment, but it was more of a classic Superman moment than it was a classic Flash moment, because still we're dealing with a much different Flash here. So their interaction is kind of different than anything you've ever seen from that moment, which was still fun. It was different.
It's which coast do you want to go to? What do you say? He's like,
well, I've never been to the Pacific.
Yeah, I've never been to the Pacific, and all right, and he's getting ready. Clark's like,
it's this
way. Yeah, it's that way.
And he has to turn around. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I kind of wish they would have played that out. I wanted to see who won, but fuck it. It was still fun seeing that.
If anything comes to a head out of this, and they don't just hit the big red Flashpoint reset button, maybe the next Flash or Superman movie we get, they'll bring it up.
Or maybe they'll talk about a second one they did for charity, because eventually the first time they did it, I don't think it was for charity. The second time the 2 or 3 times they did it after, they did it for charity.
And what was it? Flash gets to tell everyone in the league that he wins. And what was it if Superman won?
I don't remember.
Oh, everyone has to go to brunch. He has to treat everyone to brunch.
That's right.
So that's what's going to happen. If Superman won, we're going to see them all sitting down to brunch. If the Flash won, he's just going to be talking about it for days.
And then after the credits scene hits.
Did not expect that.
Well, first I thought it was going to be a kind of a weak one. At first I was like, okay, they're just going to show Luthor again, because it opens up a black gate. You see the bald head facing away. You're like, oh, okay, it's just going to show Luthor again.
I thought it was going to be Green Lantern.
That's what I was expecting.
Oh, I mean, prior to it pulling up, yeah. As soon as it showed Black Gate, and it showed I wasn't expecting it to be a play out, or you know what I mean?
Okay,
But yeah, I mean, we were like, oh fuck, this is gonna be Green Lantern. We were even saying that while the credits were rolling, like it's gonna be a fucking Green Lantern.
We got lanterns in the movie, and I was anticipating like because we saw the ring,
or maybe even a wink at Shazam.
Well, I mean, there's even that part at the end of the movie where they go to Wayne Manor, and they're gonna fix this up as the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like decorations here, the table,
6 chairs,
6 chairs with room for more. And then that's why that was what made me go, it's gonna be Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as you see that black gate, I think I said it out loud, like not even leaning into you guys.
Shit.
I was like, it's fucking Lex Luthor. I got real bummed out. I was like, it's Lex Luthor.
And then of course it shows the bald head like facing towards you. Then when he turns around, they holler like Luthor at him a few times. You realize it's not him at all. And then it cuts to nighttime on the water in a speedboat, and you see a shot. Somebody from behind with like what looks like bandana straps flying in the wind,
and that's when we knew
you see
the
swords.
Yep, and we just start geeking
because like I never pieced that together. It's like we seen the behind the scenes shots of Deathstroke that they always claimed was like test footage for Batman. Yeah, and I never and then there was like some rumors that like he was going to show up in Justice League. I forgot all about it.
And then there was also the report that they were working on a Deathstroke standalone movie, and James Mangalona, or I don't know how to say his last name right now. I don't have it in front of me, but that he was going to be which is who that was. Yeah, because he takes his mask off.
God, that shot. Like when he not even before he takes the mask off. When gets onto the boat,
when he's climbing up the ladder,
and you see the color scheme, you see just how he looks just standing there because it is a full shot.
Yeah,
right off.
Like, they did not fuck around with it. It wasn't a tease. It was all right there.
Great.
And then he takes it off. He's got the white hair. He's got the white goatee.
Yep. The fucking eye patch.
Now let's talk a little bit about Jesse Eisenberg there in that moment too.
You know what? It gives me a little hope.
Little bit of hope.
Yeah. He felt more Lutherish.
It felt more like it's still Jesse Eisenberg is
definitely.
So even a more mature, a more toned down version, which is what it looks like we got there.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like he had his break, he's come out of it, and now he is going to be more Lutherish, but it's still going to be Jesse Eisenberg.
It's closer to what we want, but it's not ever going to be what we want.
No.
But for the fact that he when he's talking about like they have a league, maybe we should start a league of their own. They're talking about the Tom Hanks movie, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No. They're talking about the fucking Legion of Doom.
I know.
Yes. Oh my god.
And I swear to God, if they don't have a fucking base that's shaped like Darth Vader's helmet that comes out of the swamp, I want nothing to do with it.
Yep. It has to be something like that. Maybe not even like it doesn't have to come out of the swamp, but at least a building.
I really wish that at the end, instead of like him like walking into Wayne Manor and wanting to put a table in, it's like this property was owned by my parents, and it's that fucking building in Cincinnati that the Hall of Justice is like based off of. That would have been dope.
But they had to do something with the ruins of Wayne Manor from BVS. Like,
fucking fix it, make it your house, bro.
Maybe they're gonna make it look like that.
We do have Flashpoint coming up, and so maybe that'll redo the Hall of Justice, and maybe that'll redo Jesse Eisenberg. Maybe they'll cast Michael Rosenbaum. That'd be nice.
It would.
Please, Michael.
Maybe they'll cast Kevin Spacey.
We're not going there.
We're not going there. Now that we've talked about the movie in a whole, we've talked about the characters. We didn't really talk about the story. How do you guys feel about the story? Was it too fast? Was it
the story itself? All in all, was kind of. I'll give it a 6.
I don't even know if I could give it. Yeah, I'd probably give it
like
a 5.
The plot itself was nothing like spectacular. It was a very basic like let's get these heroes
this
together.
Is like your one shot story in any kind of comic line, or like maybe like a 4-part mini series of big bad gotta beat the big bad, the world's okay at the end.
It was an A
to B plot. It was an A to B plot.
Yeah.
We kind of knew where we were going the minute we got into this, because Steppenwolf comes in pretty early.
Yeah. I was really hoping that they would like. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not big on like throwing a lot of villains into a movie. Yeah, but I would have been okay if like something else, like I don't know, maybe like showed one of the heroes individually. Fucking kind of like how they did in Suicide Squad, where it's like they showed fucking Flash like snag up.
Maybe if he was working with the Furies.
Like Nick Fury?
No, Granny Goodness and the Fury. Yeah, okay. I thought you legitimately didn't know who I was talking about. I was about to be like, Bob. Bringing this to a close, we got 2 more subjects to bring up here. What did you hate in the movie? What really stood out as that kind of threw me off? Because there are things.
Yeah,
CG was a huge thing.
That was one of my biggest issues. Mainly with Cyborg. And I understand, Cyborg.
I don't know. Mine was a big Steppenwolf.
Yeah,
and of course, the fucking Clark lip that we mentioned.
Yeah,
but the things that you said, I can understand, and also wanted to get they could have done a lot of practical stuff with Steppenwolf, but I also understand a lot of the movements that he was supposed to make, all of the fast-paced movement and everything he did in combat, which was a lot of the scenes he was in, would have been hard to practical effect makeup and pair with all that quick movement.
I don't think
so. A lot of his movements had to be CG because of how big he was paired with how quick
Now, if you're giving me that argument on he has to be CG with Cyborg, I completely understand.
Oh yeah, Cyborg had to be CG.
If you try to do any kind of practical makeup on Cyborg, it's going to look goofy. But Steppenwolf, I think they could have
done a lot of practical effects with from the shoulders up. Absolutely.
I mean, look at Man of Steel. Those big bulky Kryptonian armor suits. Do you know that when they're filming, a lot of that shit is CG'd on? But they have
not.
They have a lot of pieces.
There's scenes where they're in full suits, and there's scenes where it's just some of the upper pieces and the rest of it's not.
Wait a minute, are you talking about when they first come to Earth and they have the breathing apparatus and shit?
I'm not talking about just the helmet. I'm talking about the full suit.
Okay, that was obvious. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about on Krypton.
Yeah, some of those even. Yeah,
really?
I've seen some behind the scenes footage with fucking what's his name, Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
and his is partial suits.
It looks
really good. Yeah,
my thing with Cyborg was just the fact that there were moments we talked about in the ship. Yeah. He seemed too small. Parts of his body seemed too small.
Yeah, that was...
It almost looks skeletal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm okay with that because, it's talking about how his body's constantly upgrading. And you see at the end of the movie, his whole chest plate looks different, not even counting the giant fucking logo in the middle instead of the glowing cybernetic vagina he had in his chest the whole movie. It's kind of weird.
But the thing, we saw,
where he had a big gaping, long slit in his chest.
He modified his armor in that scene. He was able to control the change to make that happen, to make himself bulkier. Mm-hmm. But there were just times where he seemed unnecessarily shiny.
Superman seemed unnecessarily shiny.
Yeah.
His whole suit seemed unnecessarily shiny at times.
But that's...
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's where the obvious CG and everything stuck out was things just seemed too shiny when they shouldn't have.
For me, it was Batman. Batman was the biggest
letdown.
Just the change of Batman from BVS to this was a big...
Well, okay. Actually, this made me think back on BVS Batman, where people were like, why is he such a... Okay, I think Batman's performance in BVS is a psychotic break. Now, he's so far in. He's 20 years into this. He's lost so much. Gods are coming to Earth and revealing themselves. He's breaking. He now wants to kill this guy because he believes he's a bad guy, but he is not thinking clearly because he's having a psychotic break. But,
so good.
But he's coming from that to this so quickly, changing his opinion and becoming much more lighthearted, but then also being a dick at the same time, and then also being real clever, and he's got contingencies, yet he still seems to get caught off guard consistently. It just doesn't feel like Batman until they're in the actual fight with Steppenwolf. That's when I feel like he's Batman. But he's not really talking much. He's not really... It's mostly the CG Batman they're throwing around. That's when it was Batman. Yeah, throughout this whole movie, it just does not feel like Batman. I feel like this team could have probably come together easier if they had some other person bringing them together than Batman.
That was one of my biggest things. Even at the end of BVS, was why is Batman the one bringing everybody together? I didn't feel like it was that would have been their number one
Again,
choice.
thinking back on his motivations there, like Superman dying and seeing the effect it has maybe brought him out of this like, oh, I fucked up. Like, like when you sober up and you're like, shit, this seemed like such a good idea.
What you did the night before.
Yeah, you're like, I remember why I wanted to do it. Now I don't know why I wanted to do it. So I think it's one of those things. But just the abrupt change in the sporadic like mood of him, and it was bad. I didn't like Batman very much in this film. Okay, so again, overall, what is your opinion of the film?
It was fun. Like I said, it was better than I was expecting. It could have been a lot better, but like I came out like, okay. Like,
you know what?
I'm not as disappointed with it as I thought I was going to be. By the end of it, like I had a good time.
Yeah,
like there were so many times that like by the end of it, like we were geeking a bit. Like
I avidly like hated this movie going in. Like I the whole time I was like, everything's gonna be shit except for the fight scenes, and then I was pleasantly surprised. There's so many elements that worked that I didn't expect them to get right.
But you know what?
Bringing in Josh Whedon was definitely a good idea.
Absolutely,
yeah. Josh Whedon
was, tell.
Was
you could definitely feel where he contributed.
This
heavily.
is the best live action Justice League movie that we have.
You're right.
So far,
the only Justice League movie.
Okay, this is the best live action Justice League we have.
This is the best live action Justice League movie that we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that it's the only one. It's the best
one. That's
why
I said it's the best live action Justice League we've gotten.
Because there is a TV
there is a
TV
pilot. It's a Justice League live action TV pilot.
It's awful.
Granted, it has the Atom. Who is it? Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner? Kyle Rayner.
I think it was Kyle Rayner. Flash is like, I think it's Wally West Flash. He's
fat.
No, he's not really fat. He's like
he's definitely not like a Flash.
He's unemployed and kind of like bums off the other ones.
Who else is in it?
Yeah. Then they made up a superhero.
Who was the female?
That's what I mean. They made her up. She's not an actual character.
Yeah, I can't remember who she was.
Yeah.
So it's the best live action Justice League movie we've got.
And wasn't Martian Manhunter in that one too?
Yes, but he never does anything. He's kind of like a mentor.
Have you like actually read up on what was it called now? The Justice League movie that was going to come out in 2007 with Armie Hammer. That was
fuck no. That's another thing that frustrates me about DC. Like, I don't even want to look into the what ifs because, like, I don't care anymore. DC, Warner Brothers, you fuck up so much. Like, you're a kid that I have to love, but I'm just done trying to set you on the right path. I don't care. Do what you want. Just try not to die.
You're that angsty teenager.
That last few minutes there, I kind of forgot we were recording.
It's that angsty teenager that you realize they're gonna do what they want to do, despite where you try to
because the angsty teenager, you're still like, how do I help them? No, at this point, I'm just like, no, you're 22, you're still acting like this.
Get the fuck out of my basement.
Just stop. Just come by on Thanksgiving, I guess. I'm still gonna check in on you, but I'm done giving you money. Okay?
But all in all, like I said, I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Not the best, but it's the best that we've got for now.
Yep. All right. So here's the thing, guys, that we forgot to do at the top of the show. If you want to like us on Facebook, go to Sorta My Brand on Facebook. Like our nerd news page, Sorta My Comics. Check out Sorta My Podcast on Instagram. And you got to be listening to this somewhere, wherever you are. Like us, follow us, comment. Let us know what you thought about the movie. And go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page on Sorta My Brand, the YouTube channel. And, of course, all our personal information is down below. My name's Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Bob Collins, Boba Fett, and... Cue that badass outro music.
Son of a bitch. Don't break the mic. We've only had it one night.